Hi, everybody. This is Brian Kuh with another Osiris League broadcast. Hopefully, everybody's having a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you in the world. I am just waking up. I just had a little oatmeal, scarfed down some oatmeal, which is really one of the most bland foods you could possibly have. And it stands in stark contrast to the sparkling kiwi guava Celsius that I'm also drinking right now for a little caffeine boost, which is the most flavorful thing I will eat or drink today. So it's the yin and the yang of life, and we have a bit of oh, we've got an exciting stream today. We will be watching some Osiris League action between. Okay, how do I get out of this? Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess there's an official ROK stream going on right now, but we're going to be very unofficial here. And we are going to be watching the JST. Oh, you know what? I guess I guess the official ROK broadcast is broadcasting the same match. I didn't even notice. Um, do I want to change plans here at the last second? It looks like the official ROK broadcast is also broadcasting this match. Oh man, that's a bummer. I might change this around. Is there another good match that I could watch? Um, I could watch T30 against Trash Pandas. I think there was another match. There might have been another match in Anubis. All right, so we're going to adjust on the fly here. Is this match actually just going now? WH against FCK? I'll watch this. I thought this was at 13 UTC. I could have sworn this was at 13 UTC, but I guess I could watch it now. Um, I want to check this one because this might have been earlier, and if that's the case, then I definitely don't want to watch it right now. Yeah, this match was earlier, and it's a blowout. So, uh, all right, all right. So, Lotto is doing the same match as me. Welcome everybody to the stream. We might change this thing up. We're gonna spectate a different match. There's no reason to spectate the same match that the official ROK channel is watching. But we do have Osiris League group play going on right now. And you know, maybe this one is a good match. Um E8885 against E68. I also want to just make sure that these are not that this match didn't get played already. Yeah, so let's watch this match. We'll watch 885N against E68. Let me all right. Let me just edit a couple of things here. Thank y'all for hanging out on this ROK stream here. I think we'll be able to get into the match in a few minutes. And before that happens, I do have something that I just want to do at the beginning of this stream, which is I was doing some armament recycling last night, and I did get to 180 gold coins here. So I can open up an inscription shard chest. And I kind of just want to do that right now. I don't want to wait for a crafting armament opening stream. I just want to open this now because I'm like really curious what I'm going to get. I don't want to get the stones. Stones would be fine. Stones are certainly an improvement over purple inscriptions. But I really just want to get one of these inscriptions. One of these legendary inscriptions, especially for one of the lower 2 slots. You know, there's the 4 slots of inscriptions, and I would love to get one of the lower 2 slots here. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this thing up. This is going to be my third inscription shard that I get. And let's just see what we do. Everybody root for me. Okay, that is really... So the book is lower, right? 3.5 attack on a legendary... No, this is scroll. So scroll is not the best. Scroll is pretty common, but still, you know, this is a decent inscription here. Another legendary 3.5% attack for the scroll slot. And I'm pretty sure that works on any on any slot. It works, you know, it works for any armament type, actually. Yeah, so this is like universal. I can use this on arch formation or wedge formation or anything else. Let me quickly change the title of my stream to the match that we're actually going to watch here. We're going to go into Anubis. Or no, wait, we're in Horus, but we're going to watch 885 against E68. You know what? Let's very quickly look at the betting for this and see if this is regarded as a close match. It is regarded as a very close match. So yeah, we'll watch this match here. I was really interested in the JST match, but looks like the official Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel is going to be doing that one. I wonder if we can quickly change the thumbnail. Probably not the best way to spend our last 2 minutes. Let me click on this mysterious merchant real quick. And then we will jump into the match. But thank you all for joining me. I apologize for the stream status being a little bit below quality, but the internet connection is the next thing I am going to work on. For those listening to this, you may note and who have been on my stream before, you may notice that the audio is a lot better. I spent a little time last night messing with my audio settings, and I think I did get my microphone working quite a bit better. So that is pretty cool. What is ironical about that is that I have a brand new microphone coming later today. So let's jump into this 885 E68 match. Yeah, 885 against E68. All right. You know what, before we jump in, let's like very quickly look at these kingdoms. Let's very quickly look at these kingdoms. Let's see what their status is. And yeah, let's just get a sense of these two kingdoms here. So 8885 is in KVK. 885 is in KVK right now. In a sort of stratagems. We are also in stratagems right now. So they are the Earth camp here. Let's see how 885 is doing in their KVK. It's always important to sort of know what the overall status of these kingdoms are. Okay, so it looks like they won. Looks like 88851. I guess we can call them the Jungle Warriors. Oh, so these guys. Oh, so 885 is part of is the same kingdom as. No, wait, that's not 8885. Well, this looks like a stacked camp right here. 1525 and 8885. Yeah, so this is like a very stacked camp because Elk is a very good kingdom as well. But you can see the Jungle Warriors have been consistently winning in KVK lately. The first win in about 6 months, but that's, not really much time. And they are a stable kingdom of mentally unstable gamers for 4 years. So yeah, very sort of old. Looks like an old successful kingdom, basically. I've certainly heard of them before. And then E68. Let's very quickly look at... you know what? Maybe I should jump in here. Because I don't want to get... I don't want to get locked out. I may or may not be whitelisted for this. All right, we're actually underway already. All right, so we're just jumping in right to the beginning of the match. We haven't really missed anything. Both teams are rushing to the desert altar, as is typical. I should not have gone for the simplified graphics there, but we got them. So this is like very, very standard opening to an Osiris League match, which is massive mobilization at the desert altar here, as well as the desert altar up here. I would say on the top side, Jungle Warriors have like sufficient numbers to defend. And then down here, I would say that E68 has sufficient numbers to defend as well. I'm just going to quickly grab... I'd love to get what kingdom E68 is, but we'll grab that after this fight. So both teams fighting for control of the desert altar here, and I think one of the very interesting things about this desert altar fight, because for years now, for literally years now, teams have been rushing this desert altar and trying to take the enemy's desert altar right off the rip. And one of the things that I've noticed recently is that even if you take the desert altar, what ends up happening is your first mid-fight actually gets compromised from taking this desert altar. Because you inevitably have a bunch of very sort of low health marches in this desert altar that aren't going to be able to go mid. And so the real key is that if you're going to take this desert altar, you actually have to hold it and get the first capture bonus, which the first capture bonus is 750 points, which is actually a quarter of an entire arc score. So, the big... the big win here is that you actually hold this building for the first occupation and steal it from your enemy, because that's actually a 1,500 point swing where you're getting those 750 points and the opposing team is not getting those 750 points. And so, that's sort of worthwhile. It's worth it to actually get the first capture bonus. But otherwise, you don't... It's like you basically the worst thing to do is that you take the building and you hang around here for a while, but you don't hold it for long enough to get the first capture bonus. So teleports are coming in now for both teams. Because what has actually happened here is that, okay, Jungle Warriors did not capture this building, but all their marches are dead. They're being sent home, and they will get to mid on time. Boo here will get to mid on time because they're getting a fast walk home. Whereas all of these E68 marches that are at half health, if they have not teleported, they actually won't... They're in deep trouble, right? If this player here has not teleported, this Scipio march, then they're in real trouble for this first mid fight, because they could walk home potentially, but then they just won't get to mid on time. So what you're seeing from E68 is they won that fight, and they are just rushing at the enemy, trying to get killed. And they're getting ready for that first mid fight. It looks like both teams have had pretty balanced starts, although E68 is putting decent pressure here on the Desert Altar. They're not trying to take the Desert Altar from Jungle Warriors. They're just trying to kill their marches. And in doing so, they actually did take it. And so they're disrupting the first capture, and they're disrupting the ability for E68 to actually generate points from this building. So you do see that red team has more occupation points because their buildings are starting to get locked in here. Shrine of War getting locked in. And we are going heavy middle here. Both teams with pretty conservative sentry placements here. For those who have not been watching or playing in Ark of Osiris recently, there have been a lot of changes, a lot of very positive changes to Ark of Osiris over the past 8 to 10 months. We actually had Fog of War. We've had Fog of War for a while now. I believe we had Fog of War in last year's Osiris League as well. So we are getting set for this mid fight here. Let me quickly share out this stream to a couple of Discord channels. We did make the very last minute audible of changing what match we're gonna play. It is what it is. It is what it is. I picked the most exciting match to watch, JST versus 818, and I just think, oh, look, we got a Lapu Lapu here in the mid. And it has a very large red circle around it. Does that mean this is a siege march? I could have sworn Lapu Lapu was a... Oh yeah, so we got siege. Maybe that's not Lapu Lapu. Maybe this is the new siege commander. I'm not actually sure of the name of Gongi's march here. But yeah, so we've got some siege in the middle from the blue team. Pretty interesting, actually. Pretty freaking interesting. I mean, this is a serious match, so they obviously are doing this because they think it's actually the right thing to do. So I guess if you have like the two meta siege commanders, it's actually worthwhile to use it in Ark in a mid fight, which makes complete sense to me because this siege march is getting free hits on the enemy right now as the two teams gather up for this first mid fight. It's pretty interesting here. I would say that red team actually has the numbers. They briefly had a numbers advantage here, and I feel like they could have attacked in. They did see this blue team ball, but at this point, it looks like blue team is bringing more people, and a lot of this is exactly what I described at the beginning, which is blue team did lose the initial engagement on the Desert Altar, but they got to mid in time because they got that fast walk home. And we are engaging now for the first mid fight. It looks like a very close fight. Dust Up and Total Vision and War Drums are all being cast by blue team. So some very interesting things to note here, but let's take a look at this mid fight first of all. I think that the engage here from blue looks really good. Red team did charge into blue, but blue had position at the temple. They've really spread out nicely in this mid fight. They're getting some very good AoE. They're getting full value AoE from, the Zug Hermans they have here. And, this is a very key opening mid fight here. It sets the tempo for the whole match. Blue team, it looks pretty close right now. It looks pretty close. Blue team sort of had the advantage of position in this case, and they also I think, cast much better skills. You know, they used Dust Up, Total Vision, and War Drums, whereas red team used Dust Up and Bog Down. So it seems like blue team had the skill advantage, but it looks a bit like, well, it looks like blue team is winning here. Yeah, it looks like blue team's winning. It looks like red team E68 hit pretty freaking hard, where even if though they had a lot of disadvantages, it was a pretty close fight. But it looks like blue team is going to get this arc. Red was never able to reach the temple, and so blue is going to get a very, very clean kill here. This rally is very well timed. They're going to be able to cancel this rally and actually attack the arc carrier. Actually, they're not going to. I'm not sure where that rally went, but anyway, this arc carrier is gone. Crazy little bee, or sorry, Espry. They got two speed marches here. They got Crazy Little Bee and Espry, both ready to very quickly return the arc for the blue team. And yeah, that's a clean arc capture for 8885N here. And let's just take a quick look at what's happening on the rest of the map. So one of the things I noticed in that arc is that both teams have used this skill, this sort of a 2-point skill with the gold coloring. And essentially that is a skill that boosts your energy gain for about 3 minutes. And it especially boosts your energy gain when you cast a skill. And so I think it's very interesting that both teams went with that skill. It's a very new skill to Arc of Osiris. I think last week was the very first time that skill was available. There are some new changes to Arc of Osiris that we're seeing for the first time in the matches this week. There are some new skills, such as the one I described. There are also some 1-point attack skills that that I think we're going to probably see both teams use. We have not seen them use it yet, but there's a 1-point attack boost to the rally, as well as a 1-point defense boost to garrisons. And you can essentially use those skills every 8 minutes or so. So in between each arc. And it's really, I think it makes the side game of Arc of Osiris more dynamic, right? For a while now, the meta in Arc of Osiris has been play defense on the sides, and then win the mid fights, and whichever team has the stronger mid basically wins the match. If you are watching, be sure to throw a like on the stream. That'll help me out quite a bit. I apologize for any buffering that is taking place on this stream, but it looks like we're doing pretty good. Looks like we're doing well with the viewers. So thank you all for joining me here. And we will just, you know, keep growing the viewership as this match goes on. But yeah, the meta in Rise of, in Arc for a while now, basically since the introduction of Gorgo, has been that it's pretty easy to play defense. Gorgo Heraclius or Gorgo Constantine are two very good Arc of Osiris garrisons. I think especially Gorgo Hera is very good against the Swarm. And so teams have been able to play defense pretty comfortably and then just rely on winning the mid-fight to take Arc. And so I think Lilith has actually made some very good changes by adding these new 1-point attack skills, which gives you a really significant attack buff on your rallies. We haven't seen either team use them yet, but I'm sure we will see them use it soon. Because we just want to make the side game a little bit more dynamic in Arc of Osiris. Because what happens is if you are strong on the sides, if you're actually able to, you know, genuinely pressure the enemy on the sides, what you can do is you can also disrupt their mid game, because they all of a sudden have to put effort into retaking structures. Like here's a pretty good example. So this is pretty interesting from E68, right? Like all of their open field pushed up, and they just let this Zug, I assume Asher rally, walk right through, which it should be fine because red team can reinforce this building. But if they had used the attack buff here, like literally, if the blue team had used the attack buff here, and the red team did not use their defense buff in reaction to it, they would take this building. And it looks like they're going to take this building anyway, because red team just like all of their open field pushed forward for a rally that's going to accomplish absolutely nothing. And as they were doing so, Terry Foster's rally here is going to take this Shrine of War. And that's going to be very, very disruptive as we move into this next mid-fight. Because you can see that the Jungle Warriors have returned the arc immediately. And we have another arc in 4.5 minutes. So, you know, that's a pretty good example, I would say, of, you know, this right now is a good example of what you really want in, you know, a really fun Arc of Osiris meta, is that it's possible to take enemy buildings, it's possible to pressure the enemy in between arcs, and then that pressure affects the mid fight. You can give yourself the advantage in the mid based on what you do on the sides. And so blue team is reasonably well prepared for this. They have a garrison in their rally, the Monitory Artemisia garrison, and you can see that E68, they really don't have time to do a rally. They need to get to mid. So they're going to try to swarm this thing down. But this player who is swarming it down, they will get the building back. I think this is a good swarm. You got to get that building back. You got to get that 10% fighting boost for the mid fight. But the player who swarmed is going to be late to get to middle. They're not going to be there for the middle fight. So essentially this rally took out 4 to 5 marches from the mid fight. Now it looks like blue team is getting to mid first again. But I will point out that E68 is winning the side game. You know, they lost the first arc, but they're only down 1,000 points. So they're winning E68 is winning the side game by a bit, which I'm not exactly sure why. I think they've been pressuring these outposts a fair bit. I think they've actually been pressuring these outposts. I'm just looking around for gatherers for a minute. I'm just kind of curious if there's any gathering going on. It doesn't look like there is, or at least on blue team. It doesn't look like there's any gathering on blue team, because I do think gathering has been buffed recently in Arc of Osiris. And I feel like we're going to see more gathering as this Osiris League goes on. So the next arc spawns in 3 minutes. We're seeing some fighting early on. I think that red team perhaps realizes that the last time they got to mid, they had the numbers advantage. So this is very interesting. I think red can see. Yeah, I think red's this is a great example of the importance of vision. Because if red team had sloppily put their sentry at the temple, then there's a decent chance that blue would have seen it and destroyed it. And then red would have no vision whatsoever, and they would not know that they actually have the numbers advantage. Which I actually think red should have pushed in maybe 15 seconds ago. Because once again, well, it's pretty even. The numbers here are pretty even. The numbers look better for red team on this second arc. I think they have a very good chance of winning this second arc, but they might have wanted to attack in about 30 seconds ago when they had a clear numbers advantage. And they could, in fact, see, they were able to see that advantage with their half-damaged sentry ward here. So we're just getting ready for this second arc fight. Pretty key arc here. The first one was returned very quickly, so we are going to see 3 arcs at least in this match. The map is even, but you are seeing a little bit of disruption. Yep, you're seeing some disruption on the blue team's outposts. Total vision cast by E68. They're going in. They're going in a little bit earlier here. They're closer to the temple already compared to the last one. Heaven's Grace cast by E60 or E885 and To the Death cast. Or To the Death cast by blue team versus an 8-point total vision plus Heaven's Grace on the red team. Will be very interesting to see how To the Death does here. Honestly, I don't think this To the Death is going to be amazing because they are just outnumbered. You know, they are literally outnumbered. Blue team is literally outnumbered here. And so their To the Death is wearing off right now, and they simply did not get enough value from that To the Death. It was cast on time, I would say, but they just were outnumbered here. And To the Death does not do that well when you're outnumbered. To the Death is the kind of thing you cast when it's an even fight and you want to get that advantage. You want to get the numbers advantage very quickly. Or it's something you cast when you have the numbers advantage and you just want to end the fight super fast. So arguably, To the Death kind of wasted here by blue team because red team absolutely swamped them on the middle, and red team is going to take this second arc. It's kind of what we hinted at the first arc fight, where blue had a lot of advantages, but red just seems to hit very, very hard. Red team seems like they hit very, very, very hard in this match. And let's take this opportunity to see what kingdom these guys are from. Oh, we can't see. All right. Oh, here we go. They are from... All right, well, they've got 4 stars. They have 4 stars. And they are from 1368. All right, 1368 is not a kingdom I've heard of, but yeah, they won 2. They received 2 stars back in 2023. And I've definitely heard of E68 before. I feel like they've been quite successful in Article of Osiris in the past. Looks like a I think this might be like a Chinese kingdom, actually. Oh, maybe this is Korean. Maybe these are Korean characters. Shocky, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. We've got a quite good arc match going here. Jungle Warriors, blue team, won the first arc, but E68, the red team, has won the second arc. So we have an even match in that regard, but E68 has been consistently winning on the sides. Not by a lot. They haven't been winning the sides by a lot, but they've been winning the sides. And so they do have a decent-sized lead at this point in the match. But I do think we're going to get a third middle fight, and it is likely that blue team can keep this match close enough to make that final arc the determining factor in this match. And that's really the key right now for blue team, is over the course of the next 8 to 10 minutes, they need to keep this match close enough to where if they win the last mid fight, they will win the match. And I honestly think they will be able to do that. This has been a pretty close match so far. Not too many buildings have been taken. You see the Shrine of Life now is taken by Jungle Warriors. And the thing that happens is that if you win the middle fight, well, let me rephrase that. If you lose the middle fight, you do get a temporary advantage on the side, because the winning side has all these half-health marches fighting in the field, focused on returning the arc safely. Whereas all your marches died, they got sent home quickly, and then you can send them back out. You can send fresh marches back out, and you do get a nice temporary boost on the sides because you have a bunch of fresh marches. And we do see Jungle Warriors leveraging that temporary advantage right now. They've already taken both buildings on the bottom side, and they're now going to try and take the Shrine of War as well. So, pretty interesting. We have a pretty interesting fight here, but look at this. These are all fresh marches. These are fresh marches fighting outnumbered against a bunch of half-health marches. And some new marches that are just joining in. So yeah, it looks like that rally is going to go down here. I'm guessing that blue team will briefly and temporarily clear out the E68 marches here at the Shrine of War. But let's take a look at the bottom of the map here, because Jungle Warriors have taken both buildings on the bottom side. You know, they just used that brief open field advantage to capture both of these buildings. Oh, we have battle reports. Nice. Okay, so yeah, so here was the rally, or maybe it was a swarm. Anyway, there's no no garrison in this desert altar, and a very quick recovery rally by E68, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think this Nevsky Justinian is going to get swarmed down before it's able to beat this Guan garrison. So shout out to the Guan garrison, putting in some very important work here, defending this desert altar, getting some much needed points for the blue team as they essentially try to stay in this match and give themselves a chance to win if they win the final arc fight. Shockey from 2359 saying that his KD will lose their first game versus 2429. Yeah, you know, Shockey, I forgot to look at my bet results before this match. I was going to claim all my mails and see how many Oryx I got back. I didn't want to spoil any matches for people, but I'm curious how I did on my bets. But yeah, that's a tough matchup, 24-29 in the very first match. So another sentry placed down. I wonder where that sentry was placed. It's not really showing me on the map. Yeah, so one question is, what do you do with the arc at this point if you're E68? Well, I'll say this. I would let this guy kill me. If I'm Wang, I'm just letting this guy kill me. Because if Terry Foster's Nevsky kills Wang, then it's going to drop. The arc is going to drop, and that is going to reset the timer for another 10 minutes. So now when E68 picks up this arc, they have another 10 minutes to hold it if they want to, right? Which means that they'll have to return it at the 17-minute mark. Then it will take 8 minutes. Actually, their timer was 8 minutes. That's interesting. I thought it was 10. The timer used to be 10, right? Anyway, if you're blue team, you really don't want to I don't like what Terry Foster's doing here. You don't want to kill this arc. Like you see that the arc carrier does not mind being hit. They could return this arc if they wanted to, but they don't care. Now, obelisk taken by Jungle Warriors. There was absolutely nothing in this obelisk. Very interesting. There was absolutely nothing in the obelisk. Empty obelisk for E68. But I would not be killing this arc carrier, because let's see what this timer resets to when they pick it back up. Shockey provided some updates on his match. Thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to throw a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me throw up the donation visual here. Yeah, that's fine. So you just saw energetic get used. That's the skill that boosts your energy point recovery. Okay, so the timer did not reset. The timer did not reset. And so that's, yeah, okay, that's interesting. So I guess it's not a big deal that Terry Foster was attacking the arc. But anyway, what's happening here is E68 is going to hold the arc for as long as they can. They will then return it. They will have a lead. But it is not a significant enough lead for them to lose the final mid-fight. And so with the way this match is going, it feels as though the final mid-fight is going to be what decides it. You're obviously seeing Gorgo garrisons all over the place. Gorgo, the meta here is pretty clear from these top Osiris League teams here in the Realm of Horus. Gorgo, Hera, garrisons, and Zug, Asher rallies. That is pretty much the meta. And, you know, the meta in KVK is mostly the same. Obviously, artifacts can change things around a little bit, but, you know, this is pretty much the meta right now. Gorgo Hera garrisons, which does very well against Swarm. Asher Zug rallies, or Zug Asher rallies. And Cavalry, quite frankly, has no place doing anything other than the open field. Nevsky Justinian rallies are too easily swarmed, and Jan Hera garrisons are also too easily swarmed. And so Cavalry is really an open field troop type at this point. Archers are for rallies, infantry is for garrison. And, you know, rip to the Cav players out there. 4-1 out for me and the rest of the peeps. So I have noticed that 885 is a little bit lacking here in their Desert Altar garrison. It's a YSS Hera garrison. They've managed to hold this building pretty well throughout the match. This is one of the better attacks by E68, and it looks like this attack is going to work. The YSS Hera garrison is just a little bit too weak at this point. You know, why you don't get the value you want from the mixed troops. The Gorgo is just so much better as a garrison than YSS. But this is a very close fight here. Very close fight at this Desert Altar. E68 is trying to get the disruption here. It looks like they're going to get it. They won the open field. And now we'll see if they have a garrison ready for this building. Because they do have quite a few marches here that could potentially... Here's the Hera. Here's the Hera trying to get in. The Hera that barely survived. And it looks like it died. Looks like somebody killed this Hera right before it jumped in the altar. Nope, there we go. There's a Hera. This siege march has been out there the whole time. Gongju has been going full siege for this entire match. And that is pretty interesting. I have a feeling that siege is pretty decent at this point, and I do think I do think it's likely that in a KVK sense that siege is actually going to be useful for the right type of player. You just, you know, from range, you just get so much free damage. As long as you can keep this thing from getting attacked, you just get a lot of free damage. But Jungle Warriors have taken back the Desert Altar. Now this timer has been reset. Why is the timer at 13 minutes now? Why is this timer at 13 minutes? What happened here? I do not know why the timer for this arc return is at 13 minutes. Because if they are able to wait 13 minutes to return this thing, then they're probably just going to win the match. Like, they are probably just going to win this match. So, Algebra, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, Algebra, I wish you were here too, because I need some help figuring out... Is that the timer till the next arc? Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, we don't have to watch that. Let's keep an eye on the timer in the top left. We'll keep an eye on whether red team returns the arc or not. Maybe the timer is for when the next arc spawns. That could be. That could definitely be. Yeah, so it's probably 12 minutes until the next arc, so there will be 8 minutes for either team to return the arc, which is plenty of time. That's plenty of time. Now, so I think what we're seeing from Jungle Warriors is like they're a little bit non-meta in what they have. we are seeing some cavalry rallies from them. We are seeing some YSS garrisons. And, you know, they're a one alliance kingdom. And it's entirely reasonable that a one alliance kingdom does not have, well, it's not that reasonable, but it's possible that a one alliance kingdom does not have 4 Gorgo Hera garrisons and 4 Asher archer rallies with, you know, sufficient legendary gear and really good armaments. But you see you see that even though the blue team had a massive, massive advantage at this building, right? They have the open field. They have them outnumbered in the open field. They had, I think, a relatively full rally. But the enemy red marches are just swarming down this cavalry rally. They're just swarming down the rally. And then there's just not enough left over for blue team to take this building. And so the Gorgo Hera just holds up. It just wins. We'll look at that report in a few minutes here. Because I think what we're gonna see is the rally getting a very, very bad trade against this garrison. And I think we're gonna see all these marches also get a very bad trade against this Gorgo Hera garrison. And you know, it's just a great, great Ark of Osiris garrison. And I think it's super interesting and kind of crazy that neither of these teams are using the 1-point skills that buff your rally or buff your garrison. We're just waiting. We're waiting for this crazy little bee Guan march to die. And now it's walking away, which is like absolutely the wrong thing to do. Because now crazy little bee has a very long walk home. Like, it's crazy to walk home right now. You could have just died and got a fast trip home. All right, so let's take a look at that report real quick. This is pretty interesting. It's a Gorgo Hera garrison, and so it actually did lose. And look how low it was. Look at how freaking low this garrison was when it started, and it just got a lot of good reigns early on in the fight. But it did lose to the rally. I mean, it was completely outnumbered, but it did lose to the rally. The overall trade here is even. It's an even trade. So Gorgo Hera manages to get an even trade, even though they were quite outnumbered at that building. And, you know, the reality is, if they had gone with a Asher Zug rally instead of the Cav rally, then they would have taken that building. They would have absolutely taken that building. But this is looking like an even map right now. The map is dead even. There's a little disruption here and there, but the points are very even between the two sides. Red team will have the lead because of the fact that they're going to return this arc. I almost think that the red team or the blue team, the Jungle Warriors, are almost like, I guess they know what's going on. In 8 minutes, the next arc. See, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if this timer is for the next arc, because that would imply that, like, that this arc, that the arc will, like, spawn immediately with no timer whatsoever. It almost seems to me like this timer got reset very harshly to about 13 minutes. And I wish I knew how that can occur, but I honestly don't. Because you're seeing a lot of urgency now from the blue team, where they're like, okay, so the arc got returned. The arc just got returned. And the timer was less than 8. So this is, okay, I think maybe it's just because my game is a little bit bugged right now. That could also be what's going on. So, yeah, we've got one more arc, and it is this final arc that is going to determine the outcome of this match. Do we actually have a rally on this city? All right, so very, very close match here. We did pick a very close match, which is always nice. 885N against E68. Two quite old kingdoms. Kingdom 1885 on the top end. Kingdom 1368 on the red team. We do have an actual city rally in the middle of an Osiris League group play match. I'm not sure what the reason for this is. I think this thing was sent. This rally was sent to disrupt the arc. It was sent to disrupt the arc, but they returned the arc, so they're just letting the city rally go. Now so this is interesting though, because these marches, what are these marches going to do? All right, so the obelisk taken over here as well. You know, the obelisk captures they do matter. They do matter throughout these matches, even though there's only 15 minutes left in this Osiris League match, but not every player has teleported. And so taking the obelisk and disrupting the number of teleports can slow down the teleporting of the last few cities. So blue team did take this obelisk. They are going to disrupt the teleports. And that can genuinely slow down these last two cities from teleporting before the final and very critical last arc. Now, I will note that there is some gathering happening on the red team. We did not see any gathering from blue earlier. And depending on how much gathering is happening, and depending on how these sides go, it is possible that red team could win this match without winning the final arc. It's a 3,500 point lead right now for the red team. The final arc is only worth 4,000. So if they do enough gathering, then it is possible that red team will win this without actually winning the final mid-fight. You can see that this match has gotten pretty hectic at this point. A lot of disruption of buildings. We saw a Marjorie taking back an outpost for her team. Matilda, sorry. Shout out to Matilda. And we do see a lot of gathering from red team. So this Matilda is playing a very key role here. This march here is playing a very key role, because I think this gathering that red team has been doing, that blue team has not been doing. They have not been gathering. Blue team is not gathering at all, really. Yeah, we've not seen blue team gathering at all in this match. Whereas we're seeing steady gathering from red team. So they might be able to win this match without winning mid-fight. But you can see that the sort of mid-focus, the more straightforward focus of blue team, has enabled them to mobilize early to mid and enforce. They are massively disrupting the mid-gathering of red team. They are massively disrupting them right now, where E68 set a point on the map to gather at. They are walking to that point blindly. They have no vision mid. They're walking to that point blindly, and they're just getting wrecked. They're absolutely getting wrecked. And this is huge what the Jungle Warriors are doing right now, where they are literally winning this mid fight before it even starts. Red has been the stronger team mid overall. I do think red has the better open field. They're like a little bit stronger. Slightly better equipment, slightly better marches, slightly better armaments. But blue got a nice jump on him here, but they're overextending. Now blue is majorly overextending. There needs to be a very, very harsh call to send everybody back. And it doesn't look like that's happening. It looks like an engage is happening here. This is a very big mistake by blue. A very, very, very big mistake by blue. They had the advantage mid. They had killed maybe 5 or 6 marches from the enemy. They had the temple. But now they have been baited into a fight. They have been baited into the key fight on Red's side of the map. All the skills are being cast. To the Death has been cast by Red. This is going to be a very, very good To the Death. They have the numbers advantage. E68 has the numbers advantage. They have baited Blue Team into a fight that Blue Team did not want to take. Blue Team did not have vision. They did not have any vision. They did not see how many Red marches had very quickly gathered here. And this is an incredible turn of events right here. This super key third mid fight. Blue got to the temple first. They postured up very, very aggressively to the Red side. They disrupted the gathering of Red side, but then they had a bit of winner's tilt. They saw themselves winning the fight, but they had no vision whatsoever, and they were dragged into a fight where they were heavily outnumbered. All the skills got popped. To the Death was cast by Red Team, and that To the Death absolutely wrecked Blue Team. Red is now a giant mob heading to the temple, and there's nothing Blue can do. Red Team fought this as one group, whereas Blue Team had half their troops standing at the temple. They had their other half fighting on Red's side of the map, and that is what's going to ultimately decide the outcome of this match. Now, listen, Red Team might have won the mid fight anyway, but the decisions that these two teams made, and really just the positioning on the map, it was nothing more than the positioning on the map, the teamwork, and the choices of when and where to fight that determined who won this third and final mid fight. And we can see the full skill bars of both teams. Jungle Warriors do not have warp, and they just have no chance of getting this arc at this point. I mean, they might do some kind of, their only hope is to do some sort of crazy ambush. They need to predict which side this arc is going to go to and try to ambush it. You see the Jungle Warriors are just extremely, they're just all spread out. Like, there's a few fighting over here. Shades of the first arc fight, if I'm not mistaken, where we saw, like, one player from Jungle Warriors was fighting down here while the rest of their team was fighting at the temple. And so while the Blue Team has had very good mobility to the middle, they've gone to middle in force early and taken the temple each time. They've always been a little bit too spread out in their fights. They've been a little too spread out in their open field fights. They did not fight together enough. And Red, even though they lost the first arc, and even though they were trailing for the first half of this match, E68 from 1368, they are going to get a very key win here in the first week of Osiris League group play. John Crilly, welcome to the stream. John's asking if I could post my bets every week before they happen. Your bets last time made my bets made John Crilly rich last time. John, yeah, I will do my best to do that. I will hopefully do videos every week. I would say that it is undetermined how involved I'm going to be with Osiris League this year. Hopefully I get very involved in it, and so I'll be really paying attention to it and doing those league bet videos every week. Hopefully I will do that, and if I don't make videos, John, I will try to make a community post every Friday maybe. No promises, John, but I will try to post my bets every week. I will try to do it. Not gonna lie, I feel a bit of pressure because we did so good last year that it's gonna be hard to replicate that success. I mean, we bought out the shop last year, about halfway through the season, because we were just nailing everything last year. We were nailing all the upsets. We were just nailing everything. But yeah, thank you all for watching the stream. Be sure to throw a like on it. We made a last minute audible to go from the JST A18 match to this match here. The official ROK YouTube channel was streaming that match, so we kind of got surprised by that one, and we made a good switch here because we were watching a very close match. This was a very good match. E68 is going to get the win. They won 2 out of 3 arcs, and I would say slightly won the sides. They didn't really win the sides by a lot, but they did enough. And I'm still like a little bit curious what that timer was all about and how the timer got up to 13 minutes. I think the timer that we're seeing is different than the timer that they're seeing in the game. I think that E68 had to return that second arc, or they would have lost it to the timer. And I think that's why it got returned when it did. But if you watch this video later and you have a different explanation for why there were 13 minutes on that timer and why E68 returned the arc, even with all those minutes left, please just leave a comment. Let me know. We'll try to figure these things out as Osiris League goes on. Pretty interesting stuff. I think it's very interesting that both teams used energetic. They used this energetic skill, but then they were only using the energetic skill to get more points for mid. But the thing is, you pretty much have enough points for mid, even if you don't use energetic. Like, I don't know. To me, the point of the energetic skill is to get extra points so you can use those 1-point skills on the side. But I guess these sort of top tier Osiris League teams still feel like the mid is so important that you just have to devote everything to mid. You have to devote all of your skill points to the middle, and you just sort of cast energetic to get slightly more points mid. Like, I don't know, I would almost throw war drums on here instead of energetic. And then sometimes you can use, 10 points middle. I just almost think that would be better. Anyway, 2 minutes to go in this match. I think it'll be interesting to see how much gathering both teams did. And it'll be interesting to see like how big of an advantage E68 gets from gathering. I believe that gathering has been boosted compared to previous patches. I think you get more points for gathering now. And basically, gathering is pretty strong with the Fog of War because it's very, very difficult for enemy cavalry marches to sort of run into the gathering area and kill marches because they just don't know if anyone is gathering. They don't know where the tiles are. They don't know if anyone is gathering, and so therefore it just is a sort of it's just a likely waste of time to send a cavalry march to kill the enemy gatherers. Shaggy, appreciate that. That pass opening situation in a couple days. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with my my live streaming. I'm pretty sure that my mic is better. I'm pretty sure that I've improved my audio, and hopefully everybody's enjoying that better audio. I am quite busy these days. I'm quite busy, and we do have our own KVK coming up soon, so I don't know that I'll be able to live stream what Shocky just pointed out, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. A lot of open questions right now in terms of YouTube stuff. Open questions in terms of how much time I'm going to have for this upcoming war we have in a few weeks. we're fighting against the YouTuber kingdom. We're fighting against Plato's kingdom and Chisgo's kingdom, and there's several other YouTubers in 2268 as well. So I'm going to try to stream that KVK a fair amount, just because I think it'll be very good for my channel. But I'm also quite busy, so I don't know what's going to happen. I do appreciate everybody hanging out for this stream. We are trying to make some improvements. We got the audio fixed, and the next task is to get the internet fixed. And we're just going to keep going onwards and upwards with the YouTube Rise of Kingdoms action. Match is over. We are now just waiting for the final stats to pop up. Congratulations to E68 for a very nice win here. Very competitive match, much closer than the final score indicated. Mick D. Elf was the MVP. And yeah, very, very close match. We can see that the total kills are very similar for both teams. Jungle Warriors had to heal more. They are just they had just finished a Kingsland war. They actually just won their Kingsland. So they're a little bit short on troops. But they did win the overall total kills, which I think again just shows that that last arc was a real missed opportunity for them, where they were very competitive in the open field. They had the advantage on the last arc, but they just were out of position. They just got baited into an out-of-position fight, and kudos to E68 for dragging them into that fight and getting the win here. 1,000-point advantage in gathering may have made the difference, actually. If we add 4,000 points to 8885, that puts them at 31735. Whereas if we subtract 4,000 points from E68, that puts them at 32,170. So based on the gathering and based on the last few minutes of occupation score, E68 actually would have won the match even if they lost that last arc. And that's the kind of power position you want to put yourself in Ark of Osiris, where you can lose certain things but win anyway. So let's do this. Let's very quickly grab our league bets. Let's see how we did. Let's just claim everything and see how we did. All right, we won a little bit. We won a little. We definitely won. We definitely won some Oryx today. Let's take a look at what bet we won. Let's take a look at what bet we won here. Okay, so we won big on VL here. VL was like a very slight underdog against AX, and we got the win in that match. Let's see what so how did this... Actually, I don't want to spoil this. You might want to watch the video later, but it looks like JST beat A818. We won on 698. Didn't bet a whole lot there. And then how do we do in Anubis? Yeah, we didn't... Oh, so we still have this we have a small bet on Evil Empire still. And that's about it. We were a small winner this week. You know, solid start to the betting. Shaggy says, "Is 770 a 2 ally kingdom?" Yes. Or we're a 1 alliance kingdom now. We have dropped down to a 1 alliance kingdom. We are here in Sword of Stratagems. We are allied with the bottom side of the map, and we are getting ready for a fight with 2268 in a couple of weeks. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm going to keep this broadcast short and sweet. Congratulations to 1368 for their Osiris League win. Thank you all for joining me. And I will see you all on the flip side.